Bold leaders stop work drama. Why? Well, for a lot of you, this is something that's a profit drain. It's a profit drag. And what's so scary is some of you don't even know it's happening until after it happens. So work drama, what I want you to think about is who just drains your energy, just sucks you dry, one of those energy vampires. And I want you to just lean over to someone and do not point out someone in the room, do not yell their name. But I just want you to lean over to a partner, someone who's next to you, and use one word to describe that person. Who is that person? What? Just one word to describe that energy drainer. Go. Now, if you're like most people, you'd be surprised at the different words that came up. You know, you'll whisper something next, or you'll ask everybody at the table, and you'll have words like these. And this is what came about from a survey we did of over 1,000 professionals. Original research. We came up with whiny, they're babies, they're children, they're toddlers, they're interrupters. They're just like teenagers. And then we got into they're a nitpicker. Oh, they're micromanagers. And then we came and saw the drama kings and drama queens, soap opera divas. And then it kind of got a little scary. It wasn't just bossy, it was bully. And it wasn't just, I can't get along with them, it was, they're dangerous. They're poisonous. They're toxic. And my favorite, they're wackadoodles. Yeah, there's just no word for them but wackadoodle. You know, what was so interesting was not one said expensive. Yet the rest of the survey questions point out just how expensive these negative people are. And these are not people that are negative every so often. These are not people that, you know, are like the rest of us, get under stress and show bad behavior. We don't use our superhero goodness. We use it for bad. Well, yeah, we can all use a talent and get aggravated. These are people who live in negativity. We heard a lot of facts and figures. Oh my gosh, every time I hear the Bolios, I'm like, wow. I only have 3 for you. 78%, 11%, and 73%. 78%, 11%, and 73%. What does that mean? Well, 78% of the people surveyed, over 1,000 folks, said, I'm spending, and listen to this, at least 3 to 6 hours a week dealing with complainers, dealing with energy drainers. 3 to 6 hours at least, some as many as 20 hours a week. Think about that for a second. 3 to 6 hours a week. Roll that forward. That's a month to 2 of lost time. There's not a column that shows up on your P&L of wasted time. Now, it affects your EBITDA, but it does not. You don't even see it. The second, 11% left a job. They left a job because of a negative complainer. And so I'm a former employment attorney. I was a partner in a law firm, and I'm always interested. Did you go and talk to HR? Did you go and seek help? Did you go and talk to the manager? Did you talk to the leader? Out of this 11%, a small percentage said, yeah, I went repeatedly. Nothing would be done. I got these very helpful statements like, well, he'll retire in 3 years. Or, you know, I know she's hard to deal with, but she's getting things done. Or, you know, he's always been so loyal to me. Or, well, you know, he's got all the systems in his mind. If we fired him, somebody would turn off something. Nobody would know how to get into the computer system, the bookkeeping. And do you think those 11% are your bottom feeders? Do you think they're your lower producers? No, these are your high potentials. These are your high performers, because the 11% has somewhere to go. They can jump off the sinking ship and swim to the next one, right? 73% said not only do I not want to work with them, I would refuse a promotion and a $10,000 raise if it meant I had to work with one of these constantly negative people. A lot of you, whether you were in my group, whether I've been in your group, or whether we've consulted later, have told me I have no one to delegate to. I can't grow them. I spot them and then they leave. That's your group that's saying, I'm up for the promotion. I wouldn't even take it if I have these negative people. You might have heard Peter Drucker's quote, "Culture eats strategy for breakfast." Agreed? A lot of Vistage is about culture. Here's Linda Swindling's quote, "Work drama gives culture an eating disorder." And I'll tell you what, like an eating disorder, it's often hidden. It's often something that you don't even see until 2 or 3 or 4 of these really key people leave your organization. And then all of a sudden you say, what's going on? Like an eating disorder, it's dangerous, but it's so hidden. So it used to be in employment law, I'd say, oh, watch out. Watch out. These are the behaviors you've got to do as a leader, or you'll get sued. Or they'll go take you to the EEOC, or Texas has a workforce commission. They'll take you. Watch out, they'll sue you. That's not the threat anymore. How many of you know what Glassdoor is, or Indeed? Yeah, it should be every hand in this room. These are services that are like Amazon. You know how you can go on Amazon and say, do you like this book? 5 stars, no, slow beginning. Glassdoor, Indeed, Job Vault, all of these are search engines for people finding out about jobs, but also what's the culture. You know, a big thing right now on the networks is the corporate social responsibility, and it has everything to do with culture. If you haven't Googled your name and put something bad after it, like my ABC sucks, ABC stinks, don't work for ABC, do that and see what comes up. You'll be shocked. People will say, you know, yeah, good company, but I don't think I'll ever get promoted. Or, yeah, if you don't look just like me or just like they do, if you look like me, I'm never going to go anywhere. The other thing about work drama is in order to stop it, boy, you got to be able to spot it. And with all those different types, you've got to know the 5 different types to look for. And maybe if you're not seeing it, and a lot of times you won't, right? They're not going to come to the CEO and say, hey, I'm having trouble here. They never come to us. They never come to the leaders. What they do is they just leave. So how do you spot it? Well, here's the 5 types. Start listening for behaviors like this. First one, the whiners. Part of the fun for the survey was reading what the quotes were about people. He reminded me of a 2-year-old, a whiny 2-year-old. He's 52. The whiners are your pouters. Oh, how are you doing? Is everything okay? Yes, it's fine. Well, it doesn't look fine. Yeah, it's fine. Whiners never have a solution for the problem. The complicators. He's just a brick wall with a mouth. Don't you love that? So think about that. The brick walls, they're your nitpickers. They're the historians. Remember the historians? Well, you know, 15 years ago we tried that, and it failed miserably. Yeah, 15 years ago we didn't have computers. Let's do it again. You know, let me give you the background of this. They never move forward. They're so afraid of change. You've got the prima donnas. I am here. I love this. My coworker chatted incessantly and wasted my time. I finally took out all the chairs out of my office so she couldn't sit down. And then what do? They become leaners. They still bother them. The controllers, these are your bullies. These are the people who will get you sued. She vented at everyone. She was a power-tripping witch. Okay, some of the words have been changed for a corporate audience. And the most dangerous of all, the toxics, those narcissistic, sociopathic people that think only of who? Themselves. several studies that show at least 5% of leaders, of managers, are this toxic personality. He poisoned the entire team. He was like a snake in the grass, slithering from spot to spot, striking when no one noticed and leaving rotting destruction in his path. Yuck. Isn't that scary? So what can you do? Well, the first is talk to your people. Start doing those one-to-ones. Do some small groups. Do you want the magic question? The magic question is, who besides yourself do you go to when you need an answer? Who besides your leader, who besides your boss would you go and talk to? And you listen for the names. Those are your high potentials. Then you know what else you're listening for? Who wasn't mentioned. Ask them about that person and see what their face does. Ask them, well, really, that person should be a manager you go to. Well, second thing, there are free assessments. We've got something set up just for Vistage that you all can text in a minute, and you can text it, and we'll send you the free assessments. And one is spot your complainers type. The other is when you get stressed, am I seen as a complainer? How frequently am I doing it? And the last one, we have a ton of webinars on My Vistage. If you haven't been in the My Vistage networks, it's incredible. So we'll send you links to this one if you just want your team to watch it. Because a lot of times you can say, okay, don't say, do we have this problem? Because it's what? Closed question. They'll say, oh, no, boss. No, everything's great. No, say, where do we have this? Where could we have this? Where would this show up? And more than anything, use this community. Use this community. Bring those problem children to your meeting. Ask people, have you ever had someone like this? Somebody in your group has had somebody like this. And what's scary is some of these people, some of these types have stolen companies away from their leaders. They take the clients, they take your processes, they go and compete against you because they have no conscience. Yes, you're leaders. You're driving this entire community, Dallas-Fort Worth community. And our future is bright, and we owe it to our people to stop this work drama. Thanks so much.